Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. Sorry I'm late. I had a little bit of internet connection problems there. I live in a fucking old building and it's got really fucking old wiring. And of course, yeah, this is what I get. Unfortunately, there's only one provider because, well, there's actually two providers. The other provider has slower internet than what I've got. So I would love to have fiber optic cable, but unfortunately, I don't. I don't live in an area that actually has it. There we go. So anybody, yeah, bad, bad, bad. Anyway, welcome to Saturday Morning Blast Off. This is where I take the genre news of the week and anything else you guys want to talk about genre wise, and we talk about it a little bit. So welcome everybody, and if you're new coming into the chat, welcome as well. Everyone's a friendly bunch here. They don't bite unless you want them to. So there we go. So I'm going to get rid of a little bit of business out of the way. If you like what you see here, if it's your first time through and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the like button as well. And you can hit the dislike button. I just ask that you go down in the comment section. Tell me what it is you don't like. Give me some constructive criticism on that. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you can go to my, you can hit the bell down below. If you've already hit the bell, don't hit it again. It will unclick it. You can go into the bell settings and get as many or as little notifications as you want from me. And you can also see when my schedule is going to be up at suspendedfanimation.com. Of course, next week is going to be Comic-Con, so all bets are off. The schedule is going to be foobarred because of Comic-Con. I'm going to be there. Monday is about the only thing I'm going to be doing, which is Legion. Everything else is going to be put on hiatus until after Comic-Con. So there we go. You can also follow me on Twitter. You can also follow me on Instagram. All of those things are going to be blowing up during Comic-Con. That is where I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff, as well as here on YouTube. I have a Patreon page as well, but I don't have any tiers set up at the moment. So, there we go. Get a little bit of liquid in me. So, wait for some more people to trickle in after they're wondering what the fuck was going on there. Have some non-genre related news. How about that? We'll go with that. So he was spotted on set walking on to the Pinewood Studio set. Christoph Waltz is returning as Blofeld for Bond number 25. That's right. Originally, he said he wasn't going to be in it, and he lied. He flat out lied. Of course, he doesn't have a large role in this, considering that they've already filmed the majority of the movie, but he is in it, and he is Blofeld. And remember, Blofeld crashed in a helicopter at the end of the last movie. And hopefully he's got that nice scar running down his eye that he's supposed to. That Blofeld normally has. And he's bald, I hope, hopefully too. And stroking the cat in his Nehru suit. You know, that's Blofeld that we know. The Blofeld that we know, yes. Yes, Slurmy, Legion is very, very popular because Legion is a damn good show. It's an awesome show. And yeah, it routinely gets anywhere from 500 to 1,000 views. It's a great show to talk about, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. And it's polarizing too. Either you really love it or you really hate it. So it can go either way on that. You haven't watched a Bond movie in years, Viking bitch? You need to watch Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. That one's really damn good. Really good. Skyfall wasn't bad either. Yeah. So that's all I can say. But I'm looking forward to seeing Daniel Craig on his last outing. We know it's his last outing, especially since he fucked up his ankle the last time around and had to get surgery, which put production off for 2 weeks. Everyone keeps saying that this production is plagued or cursed because of everything that's happened. We had one person actually die. There was an explosion that took out one of the studios. All kinds of shit's been going on with this. So, yes, Ejar, I am alive. It was just my internet connection and it was barely hanging on. Had to give it a couple of shocks with the paddle to get it to get back going again. And morning to you. Yeah. You'll like Casino Royale. There's a scene in there just for you. I'm not gonna say what it is. Yes, Slurmy. Judi Dench was good in it, and yeah, and Ralph Fiennes. Is it Ralph Fiennes that's in it, or is it his brother? I can never remember the Fiennes brothers. They always look the same to me. So hey, Stanley, how's it going? And Ed, Ed, there we go. I'm actually a huge James Bond fan. I've read the books. I love the books. My favorite Bond up until Daniel Craig was actually George Lazenby. I know it's blasphemy. Everyone goes, "How could you like George Lazenby?" Because he was actually closest to the book in the end of the movie, the closest to the books, I should say. And until Timothy Dalton came out, and then Timothy Dalton was actually very, very close to the books. Everyone hated Timothy Dalton. I hated Pierce Brosnan. I know everyone loved Pierce Brosnan. Just wasn't a fan. I actually stopped watching because of him. And then when they brought Daniel Craig in, I was like, holy shit, they actually went back to the books. Amazing. Which is what you need to do. And yes, I grew up in the era of Roger Moore. Roger Moore was the James Bond I grew up with. And when I started getting into the books, that's when I realized it wasn't supposed to be a comedy. It was supposed to be serious. So Movie Finobi says, I heard Dennis was alive and I had to see it for myself. I'm used to a mindless, grumpy zombie talking into a mirror. See you, Finobi. Go and take care of that graduation in July that you have to go and take care of. Yeah. Oh, man. Ed Brewer, feisty is everywhere. We missed you last night on I Love Comics. Neat. So, what else we got here? So I've got some other non-genre related news just because it's actually cool. It's stuff that I watch, stuff that I really like, and stuff that I'm interested in seeing. So I kind of brought this stuff in as well. The Rocket Man director Dexter Fletcher has now been attached to direct Sherlock Holmes 3, which has Robert Downey Jr. in it, and of course Jude Law. I thought that was interesting that well, I can see why. I guess because Guy Ritchie now is getting a little bit big there. He's doing Disney movies, and what was it? He just did Aladdin, is what he did, that live action Aladdin movie, and yeah, so he's not going to be doing any more Sherlock Holmes movies. I'm kind of surprised that Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law are still doing them, to tell you the truth. But who knows? Uh, and I'm all, I'm interested in the. I liked the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies. They're funny. They're actually really well done, and they're suspenseful. They're actually good. I know people poo-pooed the second one. I like the second one. I thought it was fine. I really love the first one. The first one was really well done, but the second one was just as good as far as I was concerned. And Moriarty in the second one. I mean, granted, they were supposed to have Brad Pitt initially as Moriarty in the second movie, and they couldn't get him for some reason, and I still thought their choice was much, much better. It's just, or I should say, not much better, just as good. Just as good. I would have liked to have seen Brad Pitt as Moriarty. I think that would have been interesting, and just to see what his take would have been on it, because I haven't really seen him. I mean, we really haven't seen him as a bad guy, bad guy in any movies, and I'd really like to see that. Wilford Brimley as Mycroft. I don't know, man. He's a little bit old. He's in his 80s now at this point. I don't know if Wilford Brimley. I don't think he's acting anymore. He's not even doing his diabetes commercials. So yeah, he's not even doing that. You like Moriarty from the British TV show, Cumberbatch? Yeah, diabetes. Exactly. Let me tell you about my diabetes. And I'll tell you about my diabetes while I eat my Quaker Oats. Yeah. Thanks, Wilford, for ruining an entire generation of people on diabetes and Quaker Oats. Yeah. No, Dennis, keep that shit to yourself. He's just waiting for the right role, Wolverine. Yeah. That's it. That's it, Ejar. Wilford Brimley is Wolverine. Man. So the final little bit of non-genre news is John Turturro is going to be writing, directing, and starring in a movie that's going to be coming out in early 2020 called The Jesus Rolls. And yes, it's based on his character Jesus from The Big Lebowski. And he actually he asked the Coen brothers about it, about coming in and directing. They didn't want to do it, but they gave him their blessing on doing this. And I'm actually kind of interested in seeing this. I mean, what is it now? 20 yeah, it's 20 years now. 21 years when that movie will come out, that The Big Lebowski's been out. And I want to see that. He actually stole, I mean, he's only in it for what, like maybe 3 minutes at most, and he steals every single scene that he's in. He's great in that movie. I've got it sitting behind me, as a matter of fact. Well, you can't see it, but there it is. That's the little bag that it's sitting in right there. But yeah, great movie, great movie. It's a lot of fun, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. But you're not here for all of that. You're kind of here because of what I put in the title. Yeah, I know. And there's enough people here now. We can talk about this. I guess we could talk about this. Sure, why not? Keanu Reeves as Moon Knight. So, artist Bill Sienkiewicz, he's actually an artist on Moon Knight, says that Keanu Reeves would make the perfect Moon Knight in the movies. And remember that Keanu Reeves has been in talks with Marvel Comics for quite a bit recently. He has been talking to them about different roles that he could play, and he hasn't been in anything as of yet. The latest rumor is that he is in the Marvel Eternals movie, which everybody and their mother's been rumored to be in this movie so far. I wouldn't put it past Marvel to kind of make an announcement, about Moon Knight. They've been kind of dancing around Moon Knight all this time. And if they were to do a Moon Knight movie, I could see Keanu Reeves as Moon Knight. As he says, Keanu would nail every one of Moon Knight's alternate personalities. So if you're not familiar with Moon Knight, he's a vigilante, but he's got multiple personality disorder. And he actually takes on these different personalities. So he has a cab driver. He's got a billionaire that he is. He's a merc. I mean, he's all kinds of different characters, and I could see him doing this. Being all these different characters and playing it well. And yeah, it would be an interesting thing. And I mean, he's not getting any younger, so why not do it now? Of course, after he finishes Bill and Ted Face the Music, because that's what he's filming right now. And quite honestly, that one just looks like a lot of fun. A lot of fun. He shaved off his beard too. I think John Wick should just join the MCU, is what Kajan Eagle Kosh says. Yeah. It would be. I don't know. I kind of like where John Wick is in its own universe. Having superheroes involved, nah. Viking Bitch says, always be my maybe. He has a cameo. Yeah. He plays himself. I know that. Or a version of himself. Yeah. And I do want to see it still. I haven't had a chance to see it. And let's see. Stanley Tweedle says, that title sounded a little too rom-com for me. It is a rom-com, Stanley Tweedle. It's supposed to be a rom-com, and yes. The only reason why I want to see it, well, besides Keanu Reeves, is it's my hometown, San Francisco, is where it's all shot in, and I want a little nostalgia, a little homesickness, if you will. So, yeah, I love when actors play over the top versions of themselves too. Feisty. The best one is Shatner in oh my god, it's a 90s movie about fans. Oh god, it's a guy turning 30 and he's having his midlife crisis, if you will, at 30, and he's a huge nerd. And they got Shatner to be in it. And no, it's not Fanboys. It's not Fanboys. It's something else. It's called Quest or something like that. Free Enterprise. Free Enterprise. That's what it's called. Free Enterprise. It's a low budget movie, and Shatner is in it. He plays a version of himself as a William Shatner who's addicted to porn, and he's always in like bookstores looking at porn, and it's the funniest fucking thing you will ever see. It really is, and he plays it up really, really well. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. If you can find Free Enterprise, definitely look at it. Yeah, that was one of those things that I believe at the time I was just over 30 at that point. And so there's a whole bit about Logan's Run and how he's dreaming that his life clock on his hand is getting ready to turn black, go from red to black. And yeah, if you're in that age group, you know what I'm talking about. You've probably had that dream too at one point in time. Stanley Tweedle says, I'm too old for rom-coms. I prefer anime about high school now. Yeah. Hey, Diane K. How's it going? And welcome, by the way. Glad you could make it. No one bites here, like I said before, unless you want them to. So, yeah. And anybody else who's new, who's come on in and say hi. And like I said, we're a friendly bunch of people. They don't, it doesn't get obnoxious in here, let's just say. Penn Farm Girl says, I'm shocked Viking Bitch is recommending a rom-com. I may have to check it out. Oh, wow, HR. You have a set of the original Life Clock jewels? Nice. Yeah. Oh, I know, Stanley Tweedle. I know we're close to 300. I'm close to 300 on the subscribers. It's nice. And I'm really happy that people are enjoying what they're watching, and they're commenting, they're liking what they're seeing, and also we're sharing what we like, what we see. That's the whole thing too. That's the reason why I started this, is basically to talk about stuff that we like. Hey, Sasha, how's it going? I actually know Sasha in real life, so that's the reason why it's just kind of funny. She's the reason why I'm late, really. She kept bothering me. Yeah. Yeah. So, and let's see what else we got here. What's going on here in the morning? This one was kind of douchey, I thought, but according to Todd Phillips, the guy who's directing the Joker movie, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, the Joker movie doesn't follow anything from the comics except, everything that Alan Moore did. And he's expecting backlash because of that. He says, and he quotes, it's a movie that's not about the Joker, but becoming the Joker. A douchier comment could not be found, unfortunately, within that interview. And yeah, dude, I'm sorry. If you're doing this just because comic book movies are hot at the time and you had a retro 70s idea, basically that's what he's doing. He's doing a retro 70s idea for his movie that he's doing, and he happened to just throw in the Joker to tie it to comic movies, because otherwise it's not going to make any kind of splash, if you will. But of course, if you piss off enough fans and you get enough bad press, which is free press, then of course your movie might make some money and make some noise. I hate it. That's actually the new thing right now. And yeah, EJ, that is. What a way to flick to off switch on those expectations. Exactly what I said, EJ. It's like, at first I was kind of like, okay, maybe I'll give this a chance. And then he's like, no, it's got nothing to do with the comics, and it's going to piss a lot of people off because it has nothing to do with the comics. It's like, but it is kind of about the comics. It is about the Joker becoming the Joker. And it's like, dude, make up your mind what you want. So yeah, I'm really tired of this kind of stuff. I really am. There was some other comment too from another movie about someone saying it was going to set off a whole bunch of closeted misogynists. And it was Terminator Dark Fate. And the lead character in that one, how her character is going to set off a lot of misogynists, closeted misogynists, as he said. And I was like, so what you're doing is you're taking the Paul Feig route from Ghostbusters 2016, and basically calling everybody misogynist before the movie ever comes out if they say they hate the movie. I'm like, okay, got it, man. So if your movie's bad, people don't like it because your movie's bad, they're a misogynist. Got it, dude. Yeah. I hate these kind of things now where you can't say, hey, the movie sucked because it sucked, not because, it's you're against empowerment to women. Yes, there are people that go out there and say just because it's an empowerment to women or something like that, that's why they're saying the movie sucks. There are people like that out there, but there are legitimate people that are just watching the movie for the movie and going, wow, that script was really bad. And not only that, the editing really sucked, but hey, I'm a misogynist because I didn't like that. Yeah. Being a closeted misogynist is so 2004. Exactly, Sasha. Thank you. Oh my God. The misogynists are not closeted. That's a stupid statement. I know. I know. It really is. But he's honestly trying to drum up some support because no one wants to see yet another Terminator movie. I'm sorry. They really don't. I'm actually going to go to the panel. It's an early morning panel in Hall H, mainly because there's some stuff afterwards that I want to see. But also Schwarzenegger is going to be there too. And, I've never seen Schwarzenegger in person, so I kind of figure that's a good time to do it. Sorry about that. That's my cup hitting the ground there. And I agree with you, Stanley Tweedle. Ghostbusters 2016 just wasn't funny. It wasn't good. It had a lot of stereotypes in it. That's all I'm going to say. A lot of stereotypes. Yes, that is a statement right there that I said a lot of stereotypes. Yeah, Pen Farm Girl. I'm a huge Terminator fan as well, and she says it's my favorite chick flick. That and Highlander. Please stop. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, quite honestly, Linda Hamilton. I almost said Linda Carter is a badass female character. She's been a badass female character since Terminator 2. Quite honestly, and if you want a strong female character, you already had one. You really did. And you still have her. I mean, she's still there. And yes, so is Linda Carter, exactly, Pen Farm Girl. And you heard nobody disparaging Terminator 2. It was actually a really good movie. People loved it. And yeah, Genesis was horrible. I agree with you, Stanley Tweedle. Genesis was horrible. I actually like Terminator Salvation. I'm one of the few people that actually like Terminator Salvation, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. Linda Carter did it in heels and spandex. Exactly. Sasha Gardner says, I want to see a Terminatrix movie, a 5-star double-rated Astro Terminatrix. Oh, I think they have made that, but it's in the XXX realm. Yes, the Sarah Connor Chronicles is awesome. That if you haven't seen that series, I know I keep recommending it all the time, and it's an awesome series. Cynthia Rothrock was a badass in the movies in real life. Yeah. So is Carla. Oh God, she's in The Mandalorian. She's actually an MMA fighter. She was in the first Deadpool movie. She played a bad guy in the Deadpool movie, and she was also in a movie with Michael Fassbender, one of her first movies. I've got it sitting back here in DVD, and I can't remember her name all of a sudden. But she is a badass, and she is one of those ones I wanted to play Wonder Woman because she was actually physically fit. She would look like an Amazon, and she could fight. Hey, Joker, you had a little problem seeing me? Is that what was going on? So Gina Carraro, thank you, Joe Greer. Thank you. Yeah. Carrero, yeah. That's she is an awesome she's not the greatest actress in the world, granted, but she's a badass action star. She really is. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, a way to piss off a lot of people there, Todd Phillips. And I'm wondering if the Joker movie is even gonna. I don't think it's there at Comic-Con this year. So, well, DC Warner Brothers isn't doing anything for that, or are they? I think they might be doing something. I didn't really see anything in the when I was looking at the schedule for it, or if I did, I didn't see it in Hall H. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. So, what else we got here? I just realized I had something on there from last week. Speaking about the pissed off kind of stuff, so Christopher Lloyd recently, they were just kind of interviewing him. They asked him if he would actually return to play Doc Brown again. He said he would return to do a Back to the Future 4 if it conveyed a message, quote, some way of incorporating whatever fever is going on at the moment, unquote. Basically, he was saying if it had something to do with the environment, about saving the environment or something around those lines. No, man. That's kind of what ruins movies. That really does what kind of ruins movies. Yeah. And I say this before, and I've said it again. I'll say it again. If you mire your movie in a whatever flavor of the moment is politically at the time, you're dating your movie. You seriously are. If you're using pop culture references, things like that, you're dating your movie. It's not going to hold up 5 years from now. It's going to suck 5 years from now. There's a rewatchability, especially now with movies. You have streaming services, DVDs are going away, digital content, things like that. You want rewatchability for these things. You want them to, 5 years down the line, if a sequel has been made, then the studio looks at it and goes, wait a minute, we're getting a lot of people that are looking at this. Maybe we should do a sequel of this. That's what you want. You want people to like what your stuff is without getting tired of it. Yeah. Climate change will be with us for several decades. I agree, Stanley Tweedle. It will be, but climate change is always going to be there. Sasha Gardner, the first two Mad Max are phenomenal. Fury Road was too skeevy for you, really? I really liked Fury Road, but Fury Road was pretty much the middle of Roadware, is what it was, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was very stylistic. The third movie, I understand, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, that was George Miller did not direct that. He wrote it, he produced it, but his writing partner, his basically the guy who did all the Mad Max movies with him, had died. I don't know if it was during filming or right before filming, something like that, and he was too distraught to actually direct that one. So it doesn't have his stamp on it. It really doesn't, because he was very distraught over, he was grieving at the time. So there you go. Viking Bitches was like a giant heavy metal music video. Plus, there were a couple of actors from Farscape in it, so I dug the hell out of it. You know what I love best about Fury Road was Comic-Con that year. Conan O'Brien, the cold opening is Fury Road, which is him playing the dude with the flaming guitar on top of the truck. He actually does that as they're journeying out from LA to Comic-Con. It's one of the funniest fucking cold openings he's ever done for Conan O'Brien. So yeah, that was easily one of the best things I've seen from him. And it was a nice tie-in as well to from Fury Road. First Mad Max movie gave me a nightmare about Mohawk Dude. Oh, really? Interesting. Stormy Scott says, now I have that song from Thunderdome stuck in my head. We don't need another hero. You don't have Because We're One of the Living stuck in your head, Stormy? Maybe you do now. Earworm. She had 2 songs off of that album. Yeah. Good God, that was a... I did like her in it, I have to admit. But at the same time, I mean, the last, the last sentence that she says, "Aren't we a pair, Raggedy Man?" that comes out. I had that one at some point in time stuck in my head on loop for some reason, just the way she says it and how it's amplified. It's amplified at the end of the movie. If you ever watch it on cable or something like that, you'll notice that her voice is amplified for some goddamn reason on that. I don't know why. Yes, Tina Turner was the first Beyonce. She really was. Was she the first one, or was it Aretha? It could be argued either one. Aretha Franklin or Tina Turner. Aretha was the first one to kind of go by Aretha. So I don't know. It's a toss up on that one. Going by one name. I know Cher, yes, went by the first name and all that stuff, but Aretha Franklin, people were just calling her Aretha for the longest time. I mean, I remember that from the 70s. So yes, and Bruce Spence, man. Bruce Spence is good in anything. He's a great character actor. So what else do we have here? So Brian K. Vaughan has a comic called Paper Girls, which is ending. I believe it's I believe the last issue came out this week, if I'm not mistaken. But the series got an order from Amazon Studios. It's going to be a live action series. So what is it about? It's a group of 12-year-old girls that are out delivering papers when they get caught up in a war between rival time-traveling factions. Yes. And they end up going through time, having to fight this war, if you will. And they bump into future versions of themselves as well as past versions of themselves. So it looks like it's going to be an interesting, and from what I've heard, the comic is awesome. It's Brian K. Vaughan. I mean, he really does some really good stuff. And I'm looking forward to see how that's going to be handled by Amazon. I'm sure it's going to be handled well. Well, you know what? I will know for sure when I see The Boys next Friday. I'm going to see the first 2 episodes of The Boys, and I will know then how they translate over a comic book to live action. A recent comic book, because yes, they did The Tick, but The Tick was done by Ben Edlund, and he has taken liberties on a lot of things on that. So Sasha says, okay, I didn't finish Fury Road, which is rare. The gross leader guy being milked for everyone was a little too much. Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that whole, oh my God, that's creepy thing, because people are mutating, and yeah, it's supposed to be that disgusting. Viking Bitch says, I read The Boys. I'm looking forward to this too. It's like I said before, The Boys is going to be both something I'm looking forward to and also something that I'm scared of because of the content of it. The content's graphic. It's also sexually graphic as well. And I'm wondering how they're going to transfer this shit over and still kind of retain that, because quite honestly, yes, I know there's one scene in particular, a very beginning scene with Huey, that they retain because I've seen it in the Red Band trailer, and I couldn't believe they were doing that one. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting. It's done again by Seth Rogen and his writing partner Evan Goldberg, and I'm looking forward to see. I mean, they usually ride that fine line between comedy and oh my god, what the fuck am I watching? They did that with Happy. They did it with Preacher. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to see how they're going to do this one. A Train, exactly. Stanley Treadle. A Train is one of the characters, by the way. The guy that played Morton Joe plays such a good bad guy. Usually a very creepy version. Yeah, yeah. He originally was supposed to be Martian Manhunter in the Justice League movie. That a lot of people in that movie and Fury Road were supposed to be in George Miller's Justice League movie. That he had all the actors, he had the script done, and they were a week away from, or 2 weeks away from filming when Warner Brothers pulled the plug on it. As a matter of fact, the woman who plays the bait, if you will, in Fury Road, and if you've seen the movie, you know which one I'm talking about. She was originally supposed to be Wonder Woman. Learn to love The Boys. Let it in, Dennis. I love The Boys. Trust me, it's a good comic. It's good. You know, it's good up until a point. I think by about issue 50 is when it kind of goes off the rails. But yes, Stanley Treadle. That's the stuff I'm kind of worried about. Oh yeah, there's a really, oh my god, disturbing scene in there, and I'm just like, fuck, are they actually going to do that? Or yeah, I agree with you, Viking Bitch. If they stay true to the comic, there's going to be outrage. And from what I understand, there is that certain scene that is in there. And I've read some interviews, and I know that scene is supposed to be in there. And I'm like, okay. we'll see how this goes. It could turn me off on it too completely, where I just go, yeah, I don't need to see that. Yeah. So it can go one of two ways. I mean, honestly, you can show a little too much and be a little too graphic, and you turn off your viewers, even people that are fans of the show or fans of the comic, fans of the original source material. And yeah, they will, kind of tune out from you at that point. Yeah. But just gave me a little chill thinking about it. So there was a rumor floating around that Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things 3 was supposed to be in the Marvel movie The Eternals, along with everybody else. Angelina Jolie's in that. Kumal Najani is in it. And Keanu Reeves at one point was actually rumored to be in it, but who knows? But she took to Instagram and shot that thing down. We'll know for sure next Saturday evening, because that is when the Marvel panel happens, and the entire cast is going to be there that they're going to introduce. They're also going to introduce, of course, the panel for Black Widow, Shang-Chi, which is also another movie that they're doing right now. Who else are they doing? I don't know what else they're going to be introducing. So we're going to find out what phase 4 is happening with the Marvel comics. Because now we're, yes, and Salma Hayek. Thank you, Stanley Tweedle. I forgot. Salma Hayek's also in the Eternals as well. She was just added in recently. So it's a crazy cast, crazy cast. And I mean, for a while there, it was rumored that Keanu Reeves was going to play Adam Warlock in this, which I could see him playing Adam Warlock, quite honestly. He could play pretty much anybody at this point in the Marvel universe. And like they said, like Kevin Feige has said, we're just waiting for the right character to pop up for him to play. And I'm like, pick somebody, man. And I really don't think we're going to see Keanu Reeves, because he, like I said, he's filming Bill and Ted Face the Music right now. And there's a couple people that are going to be missing Comic-Con this year because they're off doing other things. Like Adam Savage just said he's not going to make it this year because he's doing the Apollo landing on the moon anniversary. He's actually building a replica space capsule, or the lunar landing module. So he's building a life-size version of that, and he's doing something out in Washington, D.C. for it. So it's the first year he's missing it. So we're not going to see him wandering the floor in whatever costume he decided to put on this year, which is kind of a disappointment. It's always fun trying to figure out who's in that costume. You go, is that somebody famous, or is that just somebody who's really good with a needle and thread? And usually you can tell when you kind of start looking at them and you start staring, you kind of do this, you kind of turn your head and they stop and they kind of get scared for a second. They look back, and then you're like, that's somebody who's the celebrity in the suit. They're wondering if you're figuring out who it is. Or they're just scared of you because you're staring at them way too long. HR, I could see Keanu Reeves as Norrin Rad. I don't know if they're going to introduce Silver Surfer this time around. It would be awesome, quite honestly, if they could do that. Get Galactus in there. Yeah. There are a lot of creepers out there. Yes, there are, Viking bitch. There are a lot of creepers at Comic-Con. A lot. No, I'm not. I really am not. Sometimes. Depends. Stanley Tweedle says, has anyone heard anything about For All Mankind? For All Mankind. Why does that sound familiar? Isn't that something that's been in production for like a long time now, Stanley Tweedle? I think that's been in production for like over a decade now. Ronald Moore. Yeah. That's been in production now or rumored to be in production now for like 10 years. And I don't know if there's been any movement on it. Apple TV. Oh, that's right. It moved over to that. And I don't know. I don't know anything that's going on over at the Apple TV stuff. They keep saying that they're going to release something and then they never do. And then I've heard rumors that even the internal staff is making fun of Apple TV about what they've been doing, that how bad it is. So who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. Pen Farm Girl says, we need a movie with at least 50 roles and the entire cast is Keanu, Idris Elba, and Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, and Scarlett Johansson can play all the male characters, and Idris Elba plays all the female characters. There you go. And Keanu Reeves just plays himself. That would be awesome. Damn it. Sorry. Having a little problem there with my drink having a little suction action going on to the coaster that I had there because it's a little bit on the damp side. And no, this is not an advertisement for Dunkin'. It's tasty. That's all it is. And there's a lot of it there. Joker, anyone seen an episode of NBC, The In-Between? I haven't. So it's a never-ending story. Okay. Your drink sucks. Yeah, it does, actually. If I can... Yeah. Demothy to hell. I've been wanting to rewatch Never Ending Story ever since Stranger Things. You know what? Like Lionel Hutz did, I want to sue because the Never Ending Story for false advertising, because it did end. It did have an ending. And sorry, I thought that was one of the best Simpsons little asides there. Lionel Hutz, the flim flam attorney that sues for everything, the ambulance chaser, sued for the Never Ending Story because it actually didn't have, and it ended. He sued them for false advertising. That's such a good episode. A lot of them are good episodes. The Simpsons does a lot of good stuff. So one of the other things is we're going to have DC Universe do Stargirl. They're going to have a live action Stargirl show. And in it, the rumor is that Alan Scott is going to appear. Now, for those of you who know your DC lore, Alan Scott is the original Green Lantern. Yes. And his his power set with the Green Lantern was that his power ring did not work on wood. I shit you not. It did not work on wood. So and then you combine it with Hal Jordan's original power ring that wouldn't work on the color yellow. So if you combine the two, you could defeat the Green Lantern with a number 2 pencil, a yellow number 2 pencil. See, yeah, it's an old joke. I'm sorry. It really is. It's a really old nerd joke. But Alan Scott in Stargirl? Sure. Yes, it is an old joke, Pen Farm Girl. I know. Yes, it is Silver Age stuff, Ed Brewer, which Stargirl is also Silver Age as well. And I'm okay with it, quite honestly. If they do it right, because they're also going to have her giant robot sidekick, who is her dad, in this as well, and I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'd like the never-ending story joke in Stranger Things 3. Stanley Turtle. Yeah, I did too. I thought it was funny. Yeah. Great 12-inch song, The Never-Ending Story. Silver, the best of ages. There's a lot of good ages out there, HR. There really are. And who knows? I mean, if DC Universe is still around after October, November, somewhere around there, maybe they'll get to introduce some more stuff. I like the Flint era myself, but sorry. I know I was being a little bit of an asshole on that one. So tying into that, so remember I was talking about the Time Warner Media app that's coming out, the streaming service that's going to cost like $16, $17 or something like that. Well, it now has an official name. It's called HBO Max. To the max. Yeah. Man, you could totally tell how that thing got named, especially by some 80s ad exec who was getting coke blown up his ass at the time. And yeah, he said, let's name it HBO to the max. Yeah. And it's going to come out in spring of 2020. Still no word on if DC Universe content is going to be added to it. But they said they're not going to touch DC Universe for now. That was what they said. Yeah, the for now is what worries me. I kind of like, I was down on DC Universe when it first came out. I really was. I really, really was. And now that Doom Patrol's come out, Swamp Thing, which is now canceled, unfortunately, I'm okay with it. It's actually it works for me. Slim Jims for everyone, exactly. Snap it to a Slim Jim. Oh yeah. So HBO joined with Cinemax. They are actually owned by Time Warner, both of them, Pen Farm Girl. So yeah, it's going to be HBO Cinemax. They're going to blend a slim version of DirecTV into it as well, and then whatever Time Warner um, crap is going to be in there as well, like programming, movies, TV shows, all that kind of stuff are all going to be in this one app. So we get a Doom Patrol season 2. I'm hoping, Stanley. We still haven't heard anything about season 2 for Doom Patrol. Nothing. It's been crickets on that one. And that is the one I really, really wanted. Then it's dead, is what Ejar says. Probably. I'm pretty sure it's going to be dead. I know, Joe, you said that you saw it somewhere. I've looked. The thing is, people have wishful thinking, and unless DC Universe, excuse me, DC Universe or Time Warner announces that they are doing a second season of it, I don't believe them. Any YouTube channel can say, what's going to happen or what their speculation is on it. Unless the actual company making it tells me that they're going to do it, then I'll believe them. Damn it, Swamp Thing blew Doom Patrol's budget. More than likely. I mean, I love what they did with Swamp Thing, but yeah, it was an expensive. It shows that it's an expensive show. It really is an expensive show. Pen Farm Girl says, I'm enjoying DC streaming so much more than I expected to. Glad I let this channel talk me into subscribing. I'm sorry that I'm having you spend more money, but yeah, like I said, it's some good stuff. It really is. Doom Patrol is what sold me on it. Doom Patrol is, I should say, heads and tails, the pinnacle of comic book writing. Legion is too, but Doom Patrol is a close. I mean, I want to say it's tied with Legion, quite honestly. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of channels do that. I know, Stanley. I know. Joker says Batwoman will be very bad, like a CW version of Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey was on. Well, it was what CW was before. What was that called? Shit, I can't remember what the channel. UPN. That's what it was. Yeah, Birds of Prey was on UPN. I had to remember what that channel was. WB. Yeah, it was a bad version, that Birds of Prey. That was that. If you ever want to see, just look up Birds of Prey, and you're probably going to see a lot for the new movie that's coming out, Birds of Prey. But the old Birds of Prey TV show had Dina Meyer as Barbara Gordon in the wheelchair, so she was post Death in the Family, which is a Batman comic thing where Barbara Gordon gets her back broken by the Joker, and she's in a wheelchair and becomes Oracle. And a couple other up and coming actors. You'll notice the actresses is what you were, but this is when they were first starting off, and yeah, it had Mia Sara. I know Mia Sara. I know. Mia Sara is still freaking hot. That's all I can say. She's, I believe, my age is what she's. Yeah, she is. Yes, she is actually. She is a few years younger than me. I saw her not too long ago, like about less than a year ago, in some interview that she was, I think, producing something. And yeah. WB and UPN combined to become CW. Yep, they did. God. Oof. CW is the WB network with the Dancing Frog. Yeah. They were syndicated. They were also the UPN network. They kind of crossed over with each other. Ejar says Mia Sara is tied with Phoebe Cates. I have to say this much. Phoebe Cates She should have done a lot more acting. She was actually a good actress. She was a fun actress, and she got married and then stopped acting. Is what happened. And honestly, I wonder what would have happened to her career as an actress if she had continued. That's one of the things that's always going to be a mystery as to what she would have done as an actress. I quite honestly think she would have won an Oscar at some point in time. Yeah. She's just as talented, if not more, than her husband, Kevin Kline. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Penn Farm Girl says, I worked for the Tribune, so they strongly suggested we support UPN, but obviously it didn't work. I was on board for Voyager anyway. That's right. Voyager was on UPN. I forgot about that. Oof. There's been a lot of change over the decades. What else we got going on here? Oh, this is actually near and dear to my heart. Mill Creek Entertainment is going to release every single Ultraman TV show and movie starting from 1966 here in the US, both physically and digitally. I am a huge Ultraman fan. Ultraman and me became acquainted in the early 70s from a local TV show. We have KTVU Channel 2 in San Francisco. It's still there. And in not Saturday afternoons, weekday afternoons at 3 to about 5, they would show all the old Japanese serials. The Ultraman, the Three Robot Family, I can't remember what they were named, Godzilla movies, old Flash Gordon serials, all that kind of stuff. And it was all it was all hosted by the old Creature Features host, the original Creature Features host, who moonlighted on the weekdays as Captain Cosmos on KTVU, because that's what he worked for, was KTVU Channel 2. And that's where I got introduced to all these things. And Ultraman, if you never heard of Ultraman, if you look on Netflix, Viking Bitch, there is a new version of Ultraman. It's animated right now. They have a new series up. It's Japanese and it's all subtitled. So it might not be your thing, but essentially Ultraman is a guy who he ends up getting bonded to a crystal. It's a sentient crystal that's supposed to protect the Earth from these gigantic beasts that are coming, giant kaiju. And he can grow tall like the kaiju. He grows to 50 feet in height. So he can fight the kaiju, but he only has a certain time limit. I believe it was something like 2 minutes or something like that. And are the old Ultramans animated? They're all live action, Sasha. The old 66 movies and TV shows were all live action. So it was like the old Godzilla movies, but better. Like really cool live. I mean, it was cheesy. Granted, you look at it back at it now, and it's like, oh my God, that's cheesy. But as a 6-7 year old kid watching this stuff, I was in. I was locked into this shit. And that's what got me into my love of giant kaiju movies. Yeah. Tom Forsythe, hey, have people here seen A Monster Calls? It's a beautiful film, but I don't know if anyone has seen it. That sounds familiar. I know I've heard of it, Tom, but I can't remember what it's about offhand. Okay, I'm game to watch them, is what Sasha says. Yeah, it's Ultraman is a fun serial. They actually, in the new animated version that's on Netflix, they have the old, basically they continue the old Japanese series. So they have Shinzu, I think it's Shinzu is his name, as an old man now, and his son becomes the new Ultraman, but he's also has a piece of it in him, and he doesn't remember being Ultraman, the old man, because the entity, the crystal that was helping him, wiped it from his memory, which is really fucked up. Really, really fucked up. To keep it a secret from him, and also to protect Earth from the threat of all these things. But it was a lot of fun. Slurmy Scott says Japanese grow, but only for 2 minutes. Oh, that's bad. Stanley Tweedle says didn't like the new one, Dennis, but I don't. But I don't know the old version either. Oh, yeah, it really was kind of a companion piece to the old 66 series. And if you knew the old 66 series, it tied in perfectly with it, quite honestly. I still need to finish it. It's in my Netflix queue along with about a couple of hundred other things. And yeah, Castlevania, the first season was awesome. I haven't actually had a chance to finish. I don't know if season 2 came out yet or not. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, like I said, I loved Ultraman. There's been a couple chances, excuse me, over the years for American companies. I think Saban tried bringing it in the 80s or the 90s. That's right. In the 90s, they tried doing a live action version of it, kind of when Power Rangers was in vogue, and it didn't work because they used kind of an American cast and it was pretty shitty. But yeah. A while ago, Dennis, watch it. Yeah. Right after Comic-Con, of course. Yeah. There's so much stuff going on. Oh my God. So much stuff. Oh, season 2 came out already of Castlevania. Wow. Yeah, everybody in the hood watched. Nice, Joe. Yeah, it's one of those things that if you have a whole bunch of kids in the neighborhood and that stuff goes on, when it came on TV, everyone knew what Ultraman was. Everyone on the playground at the time, this is before internet, of course, all that kind of stuff, were playing Ultraman is what we were playing out there. Pacific Rim 2 seemed like an endless episode of Power. Yeah, Pacific Rim 2 was just shitty. It was really, really shitty. It had no heart to it. It seemed to be a giant kaiju movie just to make a giant kaiju movie is what it was. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how this new animated Pacific Rim. Well, I mean, Netflix already greenlit it for a second season without the first season even premiering. So there you go. Maybe it's good. I don't know. So there's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle in the comics, and she's female. That's right. And no, this is not Venus from the old canceled Saban series Next Mutation. This is a new female Ninja Turtle. And if you haven't read the comic this week, I'm going to say some spoilers. So, spoiler alert. You got a little chance now. Plug your ears. She gets it. She's actually a member of the Hand, and she's mortally wounded. And one of the turtles gives her a transfusion of his blood, and she turns into a turtle. Hey, Mr. Roboto. Stanley Tweedle says, "Oh my God, we all die of gender bending." Honestly, Stanley, I was okay with the way they did this. They didn't find her, or anything like that. They, there are female turtles out there. Yeah, there's a YouTube trailer out there where they take the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle song and turn it over into it's a sexually graphic, shall we say, scientifically accurate depiction of turtle genitalia, shall we say. Yeah. Let's see if I'm actually still on or not. Hopefully I am still on. Yep, I'm still here. It's telling me that I disconnected from the chat. Oh boy. I love when this happens right in the middle of a. Yeah. Great. Hopefully you guys can still see me and hear me. But yeah, it looks like I might be off the air all of a sudden. So thank my internet connection for that one. God, bandwidth is so freaking crappy sometimes. Sorry, guys. Yeah. And there we go. So now I'm actually trying to have to work on this while I'm doing this. Anyway, hopefully you guys can see me. If not, I may be ending this early. Who knows? But let me see if I can finish here. Sorry if I'm going to be talking about to myself at this point, but yeah, I only have a couple of more things here. Anyway, 2 more things, 3 more things actually. So Derek Kolstad, who is the creator and writer of John Wick, is going to be joining the writing team for the Disney Plus series Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm actually excited about this because Derek Kolstad is a good writer. He's actually a very good writer. And having him aboard can only help this thing, quite honestly. Especially if they're going to be going action oriented, I think it'll be worth it. So let me see here if I've got anything more going on. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Good Lord. That was a little bit on the painful side. So sorry about that. That's what happened. Mr. Roboto came in. He said hi and everything went to hell. And now you can hear me typing. I'm back. Yes. All right. That's what ends up happening. Did everyone see me disappear there for a second, or is everything good? Did I have a little hiccup? Am I still good? But sorry about that. It does happen from time to time, again, because of a really shitty old internet connection. So yeah, so Derek Kolstad on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm good with that. What I'm not good with is AMC has yet another Walking Dead spinoff coming out. So they're doing casting now for yet another Walking Dead spinoff. Not happy about it. Do we really need another Walking Dead spinoff? I mean, I know I like zombie stuff. I really do. But at the same time, yeah. I really don't need another one of these. I tried watching Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead sucked. I'm sorry. Even though you're trying to bring in, cast members from Walking Dead over, Walking Dead has run its course. It needs to die. Yeah. Aim for the head, Viking bitch. I agree. Shoot for the head. Yes, we do, Dennis. If it's a Daryl series, you have a Daryl series. It's him riding on a motorcycle around the United States or around the world on different motorcycles, trying food. That's what it is. They should have a Walking Dead, Breaking Bad crossover. All the people walking that Walking Dead killed come back, yeah, or Breaking Bad killed, yeah. Dennis, please start watching those shows. You want me to review them so that they go away? I honestly couldn't do it. I couldn't get through them. I found out with the Walking Dead stuff, you watch the very beginning of the episode to find out what happened from the previous episode, the resolution, then you watch the very end to see what the cliffhanger is. Dennis, watch Writing with Norman Reedus. I have not. Norman Reedus is a really cool guy. I think I've told you guys this story time and time again, but the very first Image convention, he was there along with the guy who played Glenn and the kid who played Carl. And I got their signatures. I got all their signatures on a Walking Dead bag, a canvas tote bag. I've got it hidden away back in the bedroom there. And so the line had stopped at one point. I'm standing in front of Norman, and this is out in Oakland, in California, here up in Northern California. And I was asking him how he's enjoying it, how the fans were treating him, because this was the first season, I believe, of Walking Dead had just come out and everything. And he's like, yeah, everybody's, been treating me really nice and everything. And he was known before this for the Boondock Saints movie. And he ends up, I'm like, so anything weird been going on since you've been in town and all that stuff? Because always there's some kind of weird story that happens. He goes, well, I was out at the bar the other night. And he says some girl came out and came up to me and says, you know what? You look like that guy from Boondock Saints. And he says, well, I am that guy from Boondock Saints. He goes, then she looks at me up and down, goes, nah, and turns and walks away. Everyone in line just starts busting up laughing because the way he did it, he was acting it out as he was doing it. Really cool guy. He's the kind of guy that you would want to go and have drinks with and basically just kind of shoot the shit with, play pool, all that kind of stuff. And he's a very, very, what you see in the interviews with Norman Reedus is how he is. He's just a really cool, nice guy. Yeah. Viking Bitches, I saw an interview with Daryl Dixon talking about his writing show. He blushed really hard when the dude said, you might as well send all the women vibrators while they watch this show. Yeah. Yeah. He is a really cool guy. That's all I can say. And I mean, I bumped into him for it was a 5-minute conversation. That's all it was while we were waiting for the line to keep moving. And, I don't want to be rude and just kind of sit there and stare at him. I want to talk to him a little bit, see what the hell was going on. If you meet people, if you meet celebrities and stuff like that, they're just like everybody else. They want to talk to you. They do want you to get involved in what they do, who they are, for God's sakes. Don't confuse them for their characters of who they play. They're people just like you and me. They have likes and dislikes. They have interests beyond what they're playing as well. And engage them. Ask them about that stuff. Don't ask them the same question that 50 other people have asked beforehand. Just stare at them. It works. Trust me, is what Mr. Roboto said. Yeah. Especially if you have a long line of drool just kind of coming out your mouth and just hanging there. Yeah. That's the best way to do it. And just stare intently. Don't blink. Just stare. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Roboto, it's happened before. I know. What do you mean play? Act, play, however, what adjective you want to use. Ed Burr says they're people. Yeah, laugh out loud. Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. So if I can says, so what, just sitting there and just staring at the line of drool coming out of your mouth and not blinking at all. So I can't do it very long. My contact lenses start sliding down my eyes. Slurmy Scott says, when I bartended, lots of stars came through, all nice except Paul Lynde, who was a drunken asshole. I would actually kind of pay to be a fly on the wall for that one. I would think that Paul Lynde being a drunken asshole would be kind of entertaining, to tell you the truth. As long as it wasn't towards me, I think it would be fine. Because I can see Paul Lynde being a drunken asshole. Yes. And for those of you people who don't know who Paul Lynde is, he's been turned into a caricature in cartoons, and I don't even know if they still do that anymore because it is fairly stereotypical now at that point if you do a Paul Lynde impersonation. Yeah. Okay, what actor, actress would you drool over? So what Penn for? Are you asking me that, Penn? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't really freeze up when I'm in, when I'm in the vicinity of these people. Like I said, I've bumped into so many people at cons and stuff that I used to work at. So I used to work as a caterer bartender, and I've bumped into a lot of celebrities at that. Also Comic-Con, I've bumped into people. Diedrich Bader, who played, he did the voice for Batman and Batman the Brave and the Bold. He was also in the Drew Carey Show and also Office Space. He was the next door neighbor in Office Space. The whole thing was, what would you do if you had $1 million? What would I do? 2 women at the same time. That's the dude who I'm talking about. I saw him on the floor of Comic-Con, and he was walking ahead of me, and I had to tap him on the shoulder. I'm like, dude, I just got to say thank you for doing Batman. It was just after Batman the Brave and the Bold had ended. I go, that was awesome. I mean, you did a great job. And he's like, thank you very much. He was actually appreciative of all that. And yeah, I mean, you interact with people, man. I mean, you don't need to be open mouth, a slack-jawed moron is what I call it, where you're just kind of sitting there with your mouth open. Diedrich Bader, yes. That's who it is. Ejar, that's his name. Great, really nice guy. Really, really nice guy. I've also bumped into Ron Perlman, like I've said before, literally bumped into him. I've seen Greg Nicotero out on the floor there. Joss Whedon, I've seen out on the floor. Paul Bettany, Scott Green. Scott Green was blazed out of his mind too on pot. Came by the booth. Was just blitzed out of his mind. Yeah, I've lost track of how many people. I probably was about 15 feet away from Charlize Theron when she was doing the Aeon Flux panel. I almost literally bumped into Taylor Swift. I split right in between her and Tom Hiddleston when he was dating her, and they were crossing over into their limo, and I was just trying to get past. I didn't know what was going on. So yeah, there's all kinds of shit that I've done at Comic-Con and people I've bumped into. So yeah. Oh, and yeah, a few other people as well. I agree, Viking Bitch. I'd rather watch their work on screen because some are jerks in interviews. Yeah, some are. I mean, everyone has a bad day. Bruce Campbell called me an asshole one time, and that was because I asked a question that he didn't understand where I was getting at, and I guess I didn't understand what I was doing, either. So he called me an asshole in front of a group of people. That's fine. He did it in a nice way to the point where I kind of laughed about it. Everyone else laughed about it. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So, but he dropped the Bruce act at one point when I was getting a signature. I believe it was for the Bubba Hotep one that I had signed, because some guy had come up and was just like angry at him because his son didn't get a chance to get a signature because he didn't buy the book or whatever. And Bruce kind of dropped the facade and was like, don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine. And yeah, it was kind of weird. Mr. Roboto says, Dennis, are you a jerk in real life? Yeah, I am. Ask Sasha. She knows how I am. Tom Forsythe said, did Taylor Swift write a song about how you victimized her? No, she actually wrote a song about how she liked my ass, because supposedly she stared at my ass when I walked past. At least that's what I was told from the person that was behind me that was walking with me. There you go. Viking Bitch says, Dennis is playfully sarcastic, which can be interrupted as assholish. Can be. Yes, it can be. I can also be an asshole too. And Sasha says, Dennis is an asshole. Thank you, Sasha, for confirming that. You'll get no such stories from Sasha. She lies. Oh, man. Yeah. No, I am an asshole. I can be an asshole. Yes. I find that very believable. Is what Ed Brewer, what about her looking at my ass, or that I'm an asshole? Which one? There's a lot of ass going on here. And I might have to get the shirt. I just saw that Marvel is selling. It says America's ass on it. And, from the Captain America thing from Avengers Endgame. And it's got a piece of tape over the large ass. And it says language. So I might have to get that one just because it's damn funny. I find that very... both is what Ed Brewer says about me getting my ass checked out by Taylor Swift and me being an asshole. Thank you. Viking Bitch says, hi, I won't delete any of Sasha Gardner's comments, so feel free to share. Yeah, I have that power to delete as well, I just let you guys do it. So in case you haven't heard me talk about it, Comic-Con is this week. It starts Wednesday. So what I'm planning on doing, because I'm on the wait list for every single Conan O'Brien. He has 4 shows that are going on in Comic-Con, and I'm waitlisted for all 4, which really sucks. So Wednesday morning, I'm going down at the Oh My God 30 early in the morning to go and wait in line for the standby ticket line. That's what I'm going to do. And after that, I'm going to wander around downtown and yeah, shut up, Viking Bitch. And I'm going to, take some pictures and see what's out there because I know they're setting up right now stuff in the Petco Park parking lot. Also across the street behind the convention center, there's a big, green out there. So they're doing that. They're setting stuff up all over the place downtown. I also have pre-signed up for the NBC Universal. I don't know. They've got something going on with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and one of my favorites is they have the Good Place. They have the Interdimensional Hole of Pancakes, is what it's called. So they've taken over a cafe, this breakfast cafe, and they've called it now the Interdimensional Hole of Pancakes. And so you need to get a wristband in order to get in there and eat at this place, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, I'm going to be end up doing that as well. Will you use my mobile? Yes, I will use my mobile, Mr. Roboto. And I will be posting like short videos through Instagram, but the majority of the long videos are going to be here on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, especially for the panels and stuff like that, because I've got to come back to upload them. I've got to come back home and use the crappy internet connection that I have here, which is slightly better than the really crappy internet connection that's at Comic-Con. And yes, I am going to take pictures. You're going to see pictures throughout the day flooding through Instagram. I also have it connected to Facebook, and I also have it connected to Twitter as well. So they should be going to all those places. Yes, I do have a wristband, Mr. Roboto. I'm probably going to have multiple wristbands for different things. There's a Watchmen experience in 2 different places, which I thought was interesting that they're doing the same. I don't know if it's the same Watchmen experience. It's for the new HBO series that Damon Lindelof is doing. So I'm going to go to that. There's a couple other things that I'm actually going to go to. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind me looking at my phone real quickly, I can tell you what it is because I've been taking notes on my phone in order to tell what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. So there's also the Pennyworth experience. Even though I'm not looking forward to the series that's going to Epics, which is about Alfred Pennyworth, the Alfred, the Batman butler. They're going to have it's something called the Oxford Social Club. So they're taking over a bar in one of the San Diego hotels, and you go in and you get to go through some mysteries or something like that. I can't remember exactly what they said it is, but you end up with some kind of gift bag, something like that, something at the end of it, which I thought was interesting. I have the HBO Watchmen experience here. Also, I was telling Viking Bitch this one as well. They're going to have axe throwing with the Viking stars. So the Viking TV show at Throw It San Diego. And Alexander Ludwig is going to be there on Saturday from 2 to 3:30. And Catherine Winnick is going to be there from 3:30 to 5. Unfortunately, that is on Saturday, right before the Marvel panel. There is no way in hell I can make that and the Marvel panel at the same time. So, sorry, Viking Bitch. I am not going to be able to get you, my chest signed by Catherine for you. Not going to happen. And then there's a whole bunch of different giveaways that I have listed here. No, I'm probably not Stanley Tweedle going to meet up with other people. I might bump into some other people. It happens. Even though there's 150,000 people that are there, I usually end up bumping into people that I haven't seen in a long time. It's a weird phenomenon. Don't ask me why. Yeah, HR, it's really not. It really is not, unfortunately. The Watchmen experience sounds very Lord of Snakes, Alan Moore. Huh. Are you going to network with other channels, HRS? Probably not. Well, I might. I'm probably going to end up. Feisty and I are talking about, grabbing a drink or two as well. And we'll probably, film a little something. Yeah, it's going to be, honestly, I'm going to be sitting in a lot of panels and video. I have a new GoPro that's up and running. That's going to be going. That reminds me, I need to buy some extra batteries as well for that. Yeah. But Dennis, what if Catherine likes your ass and wants to write a song about it? If you don't meet her, how will you ever know? See, I've already been there and done that. There's been so many songs written about my ass. I'm kind of tired of it now. My eyes are up here, by the way. You know, I'm feeling like a piece of meat. Ed Brewer says, give ScarJo my email while you're there. Do you want me to just email it to her, Ed? I've already got hers. So, I mean, I can just email yours over to her. It's really easy to do. See, Sasha knows. Mr. Roboto says it's the Alfred experience. They make a butler and they make you a butler and you clean a cave full of bats. Yeah, that's it, Mr. Roboto. Yeah, you become a butler for the day and you have to clean up after all the interns. Oh my God. That's pretty funny. So my last thing that I've got here, excuse me, Jon Favreau, while he was on the Jimmy Kimmel show, says that he's already started working on the second season of The Mandalorian. This is for the Disney Plus channel. The first season hasn't even come out yet. Supposedly, I guess they're going to have a little sneak peek of it at D23. They were not going to show anything at Comic-Con because far be it from Disney to show anything fucking Star Wars at Comic-Con because that's not the place, I guess, to do it. Yeah. Yeah, you can have Sasha weigh in on how my ass rates. It's up to you guys. Why not? Sure. Slurmy Scott says, damn, I have to throw away all these songs I've written. I've been working on Ode to Ass. I have hurt my hand on trying to smack his clothed ass. Yes. I remember she actually did hurt her hand trying to do that. And you notice I'm not embarrassed about that at all, because otherwise I'd be blushing. I'd turn bright red. You guys know I turn bright red, and it's like, yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on at Comic-Con, and I don't even know where to begin, quite honestly. Like I said, I'm going to try and hit up the Terminator Dark Fate panel. I wanted to go to the Adult Swim panel as well because they're going to have Venture Brothers is going to be. No, wait, Venture Brothers is not there this year for some reason. It was Rick and Morty, Robot Chicken, and Gennady Tartakovsky's The Primal, which looks fucking awesome, by the way. But I can't go to any of those because that is in the middle of some other stuff that's going on, which is always the case with Adult Swim. They like to put their stuff right in the middle of the big panels for some reason, and they want to make it an either or. They're like, you either come to our panel or you go to the other panels, and fuck you. I'm like, all right, fuck you then. I have been to a Venture Brothers panel and a Robot Chicken panel previously, and they were a lot of fun, but it's just, I really would like to maximize my viewing efforts, shall we say. Not everyone's into those other shows, and the stuff that I'm going to, a lot of people are into. A lot more people are into. He's not blushing, so it must be true. Yes, that's right. Mr. Roboto says, enjoy the con and con beer if it's not. They don't sell beer at the con, Mr. Roboto, because there's a lot of kids that are there and things like that. They do sell pizza that's really freaking expensive, like it is like you're buying a beer. I think you get a slice of pizza for $10, $15, something like that. And it's really shitty too. It's like cardboard. So you never ever buy any of the food there. They have a couple of Starbucks that are inside the convention centers themselves, and there's always a long ass line. And it's actually faster to go outside of the con down to one of the other nearby Starbucks. There's like about 15 around there. Pick it up and come on back. Viking Bitches, I haven't watched Robot Chicken in a long time. It's got to be all the same. Yeah, they are doing their 15th year, I think is what they're doing now. Something like that. I can't remember. I think they were off for a little while. Now they're back again. Excuse me. Mr. Roboto says Venture Brothers just ended. No, they just finished season 7, Mr. Roboto. They are working on season 8 right now. They are contracted through season 9, season 10, something like that. I can't remember offhand. Hey, Joe, how's it going? These children things you talk of about sound like a real drag. Sometimes they are, Ejar. They really sometimes they are. So to put it to you this way, con, we have something what's called the con shuffle, where you can't walk at a normal pace in the con because there are so many people. So you literally shuffle your feet. So it's like, an old man kind of walk, and it's annoying, but you get used to it kind of quickly, which is really odd. But anyway, that is what it's called. And a lot of people like to bring wheeled totes and shit like that, which you're not supposed to. And so you're tripping over wheeled shit, which they say on your ticket, and they also say at the doors, no wheeled totes are allowed. But of course, there's people that do it anyway. Yeah, I know, first world problems, but there we go. Viking Mitch says, Ed, have you ever listened to the commentaries on the Venture Brothers? They are as good as the show. Yes, they are. Yeah. Kids can drink non-alcoholic beer. No, they can't, Mr. Roboto. You're not supposed to drink non-alcoholic. That still has alcohol in it. Just because it says non-alcoholic doesn't mean it doesn't have any alcohol in it. It does. You have to drink a lot of it in order to get even a minor buzz, but it's a lot of it. You actually, if you butt chug it, you might actually get a bigger buzz than if you drink it. And pretty much that's really all you really want to do with non-alcoholic beer anyway, is wash your ass with it. That's what you want, is you want drinking commentaries from me. So what else am I looking forward to? Like I said, the Marvel stuff. I am going to go to the discussion with the Russo brothers, because rumor is they're going to bring out the entire cast from Avengers Endgame, or the Avengers cast, I should say. And it's going to be a reunion of the Avengers cast. So Robert Downey Jr. is going to be there. Chris Evans, all those people are all going to be there. I want to go to that. Westworld season 3. That, of course, is before the Marvel panel, like a couple hours before the Marvel panel. So I'm going to go to that. I'm going to have to suffer through the Star Trek stuff in between all of that. And it's all off the top of my head, by the way, because I actually have a schedule down in God, I can't remember what else there's out there. There's a lot of stuff out there. So, well, apparently Dennis has a killer ass, so who better to give us tips? That's why you need to wear a costume, so you knock them down with impunity. No. If you have a costume on, they usually can tell you, they can tell who you are a lot easier. It's below 0.5, so it should be harmless for kids. They can always drink Shirley Temples or Roy Rogers. There's no bars there. There really aren't, unless you leave the convention center. And, well, there is the hotel that's next door. There's 2 hotels on either side. So there's bars there. Yes, Joe, I did. I did mention my ass, and I got confirmation on my ass as well from someone in the chat here. Yeah. Dennis hides a lot in those t-shirts. No, I don't. My t-shirts show off my ass pretty well. Your pretty face is going to hell. They might be there. What? Well, yeah, Sasha, you know what they say about a guy with big hands and big feet? He's got big gloves and big shoes. But I'll be here all week. Remember to tip your waitress and try the veal. Yeah, I'm wondering what it's going to be like for any new subscribers that come on and go, what the fuck is this? He's been talking about his ass for the last half an hour. What? Oh my God. Penn Farm Girl says, Dennis, I heard someone is wearing a t-shirt to Comic-Con that says, I went to Star Trek summer camp and caught an STD. I know you don't like us to slam the show, but that is funny. I have to admit, that is pretty funny. I went to Star Trek summer camp and caught an STD. Or they could just shorten it to Picard gave me an STD. Would that work? Adult Swim, show your pretty face unseen going to. I still don't understand you, Mr. Roboto. I'm sorry. I can't confirm the hand-size correlation. Here, you want to see? There you go. Oh, and for those of you who missed it last night, if you weren't in the Swamp Thing show, I did get my business cards in. Da-da-da-da. You can see it's got the shiny lettering on the suspended Fanimation there. Yeah, it's got the rounded corners too. Look at that. Woo-wee. And da-da-da. I got the back panel there too. So that is what I'm going to be giving out for my networking stuff, if you will. If I do any networking there, who knows? I guess Dennis is not a fan of that Adult Swim. Your pretty face is going to help. No, I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Roboto. Sorry. I haven't watched Adult Swim in a while. But then again, I used to watch Adult Swim a lot when I stayed up really, really late. And yeah, that was, yeah. Thanks, Viking Bitch. I don't think she's ever seen the paddle, quite honestly, Viking Bitch. Even though it is sitting right here, and yeah. And there's just too many jokes I could say right now. I'm not going to. That's all I'm going to say. It's called Eggshell. Notice the raised lettering? Yeah, I didn't do any raised lettering. All I did was I just did the shiny, the shiny title is all I did. I'm kind of thinking I maybe should have brought the font up a little bit bigger on the front there. But all in all, I'm okay with it. I mean, it's got the Han Solo and Carbonite picture that I really wanted on there. And of course, it's got Astro, my little logo design in the back there. The little astronaut, if you'll go into focus. Sometimes he will, sometimes he won't. Maybe not. It won't. Paddle yourself. There's another joke I can say there. I'm not going to. So that's all I've got, really. And Disney might be after you. What will they be? Oh, for the Han Solo picture? Nah, I think that'll be okay. Yeah. Shiny. Hopefully people will keep them. I mean, it's got enough on there, and I wanted to make it so that and you notice there's no phone number on the back either. There's a reason for that too. So that's what I have a pen for. If I need to add a phone number, I can add a phone number because there's plenty of space to add a little bit of writing room on there. Yeah. I do bring a sandwich to con, Mr. Roboto. I also bring snacks. I'm most likely, after I'm done here, going to start filming my Comic-Con survival tips, if you will. It's going to be an upload video because I need to do edits and all that kind of stuff to it. And it's interesting, really. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun. But yeah, I bring a sandwich, I bring snacks, I bring a chair. It's not the chair that you think it is either. It's actually, I bring a whole bunch of stuff with me. Pulled pork and applesauce. People bring in some really weird shit into the con. And quite honestly, you don't need to do that. There's ways of bringing stuff in that's not annoying, and you've also got to remember too, those bathrooms can be fucking filthy. And again, going back to the ass, sometimes your ass does not want to touch whatever is on that toilet seat, even with a couple of layers of ass gaskets going on. And that brings me to last year's Comic-Con. I laughed my ass off because I went to the bathroom during what was it, that Amazon series, what was the Stephen King one, Castle Rock. They were showing Castle Rock, and I got up in the middle of it and went to the bathroom. In the stall, the ass gaskets were advertising for Deadpool 2, and that was their advertisement. And I should have taken one, because it was the funniest damn thing, and it was Deadpool advertising on toilet seat covers protectors. It was pretty funny. That got my as the best advertisement I've ever seen. More ass talk. I see a theme. Yeah, I know. I think that's going to end up being one of the meta tags for this video is going to be ass. Even if you have an ass of steel, you need to protect it. Yeah, you really do. It's kind of funny. One of the guys whose company cleans those bathrooms, you might know him as Crazy Carlos. He is a follower on here as well. And I don't know if he's come into the chat, but yeah, I think he follows the other channel I used to be on quite a bit more. But yeah, I met him last year. He's a nice guy, and yeah, his company, it's night and day from what it used to be. It used to be, good God, oh my God, you never went into the bathrooms at con because they were just nasty. Stormy Scott, I spent 2 hours of Social Security last week to change my bank. One lady brought lunch and passed around cookies. Prepared for anything. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to accept baked goods from a total stranger myself, but maybe that's just me. I'm from San Francisco, remember, and when you got baked goods passed around, there's usually something in them, something a little, extra. Yeah. Is that possibly your first rookie mistake, not keeping one? I was tired at the time, Pen Farm Girl. I just didn't even think about it. I laughed, and yeah, I really should have grabbed one. All the ass talk makes me think of Doom Patrol. Yes, Mr. Roboto, deodorant and snacks. That is. Joe says, I do not follow the other channel that shall not be named. Yes, Joe, I know. A lot of people don't. I don't either. So. Dennis likes to say how he's from SF a lot. I don't know if you know, Sasha, but I'm from San Francisco. I don't know if you noticed, but my logo there with the little Astro dude, what's it say? It says SF on there. Yeah. You notice how that's a little subtle nod too as well? That's right. Yeah, there was a kind of method to my madness at one point, and it may happen still. I thought about a hat design, kind of like the San Francisco Giants logo, the SF Giants logo, but with my little Astro guy on there as well. Yeah. Wow. Stanley Twill said, I try to watch Voldemort's channel from time to time. Cannot stand the content he does now. Yeah. Yeah. Some channels change and do some weird shit. I just like talking about shows, quite honestly. I like talking about like what we're doing right now. Talking about all the different genre stuff that's coming out, what I'm looking forward to at Comic-Con, what I'm looking forward to coming out on TV, what's coming out in movies, things like that. You don't need to involve politics into it. You don't need to involve, religion or anything like that. That is, if you want to do that, you could start another channel that's all it talks about, quite honestly. I don't want to bring that shit into this because, quite honestly, I used to be a bartender in a former life. Okay. Yes, I know I've brought this up before too. Sasha, I could hear her eyes roll actually from across town. I could literally hear her eyes roll when I said that. And one of the things they teach you when you're first bartending, you don't talk about sports, you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics. Those are the three things you don't talk about as a bartender, because those are the three things that lead to bar fights. Yes. So do geek things too. Geek things have led to fights, quite honestly. Magic the Gathering, My God, that has led to more fights I've seen than anything else. And you want to talk about geeky? Yeah. Yes, too much politics in this space. It's annoying. Yeah, exactly, Dante S. And you don't need that, quite honestly. Thanks, Joe. It's not that I'm holding myself to a higher level or anything like that. I just don't want to talk about that shit, quite honestly. It's boring to me. And I get enough of it in the news and on TV and, out in the world and all that kind of stuff. Um, Yeah, Pen Farm Girl, Magic the Gathering. When Magic the Gathering first started, there was a lot of gray areas on how things would work and things like that. And I don't know, my group of friends, we played this, and this is back in the 90s. Yeah, and there might have been some alcohol involved too, but yeah, it really did. Exactly. Thank you, Sasha Gardner. Dennis gives no fucks. Punk rock. Exactly. It doesn't need to be you don't need to bring that shit into all of this. This is geek stuff, man. Oh, nothing is wrong about geek stuff. If you like something that someone else doesn't like, live and let live, man. Yeah, you don't have to say you're wrong because you like Star Trek, Discovery. I don't give a shit. If that's what you like, that's what you like. I don't particularly like it myself. That's all right too. That's what a difference of opinion is. It's like, all right, we can both be right. That's all it is. Hey, Slurmy. I just got an important notification. Suspended Fanimation is live now. All right, Slurmy. It's only been an hour and a half, but you finally got that notification. We were trying to build what we had before. We were trying to build a fighting force of extraordinary magnitude. I'm sorry. That's the nerd in me, yes. If you've never seen Kentucky Fried Movie, go and watch it. That's all I can say. Go and watch Kentucky Fried Movie. Yes, I do fight for the green. You're right, Joe. It's okay if you like STD. It's another matter. That's why I said Star Trek Discovery, not STD, because I knew it was going to be taken out of context if I said it that way. That's why Saturday Morning Blast Off is hashtag SBO instead of hashtag SMBO, because SMBO phonetically is a racial term, which we don't want to get into. SBO is much better. Yes. If you ever wonder what the hell that was all about. Yeah. Pen Farm Girl says, Dennis, did you watch that TV show that was kind of based on Magic the Gathering, or so I heard? I didn't, but I did watch The Kindred, the one that was literally based on Vampire the Masquerade, which was good. That was on Fox in the 90s. And that was actually a really good show. And it got canceled way before its time. But I did not watch the one based. There's supposed to be one that's coming out based on Magic. I believe it's on Netflix, if I remember. And the Russo brothers are producing it. That's right. That's right, Pen. SMNBO. S and MBO. I don't know. That's a little too much there. Stanley, guess I missed that day in class. I'm getting low. You can tell. But you know what? I have a backup. Water. Yes, I do. I'm trying to think of what else is going to be there. For some reason, The Good Place. Well, The Good Place is in its last season. Next season, they decided that season 4 is going to be it. So, and for some reason, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is also going to be at Comic-Con. Don't ask me why. But also, there's a Game of Thrones panel too. They're going to have the entire cast from Game of Thrones, I guess, so that half the fans can pelt them with rotten fruit and vegetables, while the other half of the fans cheer them. I don't know. But that's going to be in Hall H as well. I'm not going to go to that. As far as I'm concerned, it's done, and I don't need to see any more of it. What are they going to do? They're going to just tell me that, oh yeah, it's over with. Sorry you didn't like it. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at Pepper. She's outside on the patio trying to use the potty and She moved it with her paw and freaked out. It just was pretty fucking funny. If they finally canceled Swamp Thing after letting it drag on for one whole episode. Yeah, exactly, Slurmy. Throw a Starbucks cup. Oh, that's mean, but that is funny at the same time. You know there's going to be a Starbucks cup joke that happens. They're going to do that. I don't know what she is doing out there. Sorry. It's just, you liked Forever Night? Which one? Pen Farm Girl. There was like about 3 different versions of Forever Night that were out there. There was one with Rick Springfield. And then there was the one that had the Swedish dude. And I think there's a third version too. I can't remember exactly. Yes, Pepper does rule the world. And I'm not the only one that Pepper is hitting the genitals. You can ask Sasha about that one. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay. Sorry, I had to take a look and see what was going on over here. And in case you're wondering what that sound is, that is the poop dance from Pepper. That's what she makes, that sound, yes. All right. Yes, I know. Hi. Did you want to come up and say hi? Come here. You want to come up and say hi? No. Pepper's like, yeah, fuck you all. I'm not going to come up and say hi. Dennis, that's why you always keep an empty gallon bottle in the car. To pee in? Jar? No. I know it's kid stuff, but has anyone seen Troll Hunters? I have not, Stanley Tweedle. I know that Guillermo del Toro is involved with Troll Hunters, and I just haven't had a chance to see it. Like I said, there's so much stuff that's out there. No, the Norwegian movie is just called Troll Hunter, if I remember correctly. I have it on DVD up here someplace. We all have poop dances. Yes. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, Stanley Tweedle, the animated one. It's in its like 4th season now or something like that. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch that. And for some reason, FX decides that the Mayans is the great place to, have a panel at Comic-Con as well for some reason. I went to the one last year because they were right before the Legion panel. As a matter of fact, they got the little Mayans patch from FX there, which was kind of fun. I just happened to have it sitting here because that's where it dropped I believe from last year. It just gets moved around on the table as I'm cleaning. And it gets used as a coaster every now and then too. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of freebies. I've been looking at the list of freebies that are coming out this year, and there should be some good stuff out there. Motorcycle gang equals sci-fi fun. Yeah, where the fuck is that from? That's what I was just trying to figure out, was where. I know Edward James Olmos is in it. Okay, I can see that. I watched the first episode at Comic-Con, and I was bored by it. I think I actually fell asleep. But then again, that's not a surprise. It was pretty boring, and it was Sunday. Dennis has a room full of goodies. This is the only room that you see right now, Joe. There's actually another room that has a lot more stuff, and there's stuff in boxes too. Not a lot of boxes. I've whittled down quite a bit. So I might switch out some stuff later. Who knows? Yeah. Ejar says, I watched it. It was slow. Yes, it was slow. It was very slow. Sasha says, I just wanted to know where the Dublin Donuts is. Dunkin' Donuts. I need a coffee culotta. It is about a little less than 2 miles away from my house, Sasha. So it's across the street from the mall. You know the big mall? There's only one mall in El Cajon, so you know where it's at. I know what you're talking about, Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. Or it's called Dunkin' now, is all it's called. Yeah. Pepper must tell the other dogs my daddy sits and talks to himself a lot. He's cray. No, she just likes barking at the other dogs. She does have a little boyfriend or further down in the complex here that she likes hanging out with, but that's about it. Want some candy, little boy? You're on your way? All right, cool. There's AC here too, by the way. So come on by. But not, yeah, it really is nowhere near Sons of Anarchy, HR, I agree. And I don't see the comic connection either, other than Edward James Olmos is in it. That's the only thing I can see. That's the sci-fi connection, because he was on Battlestar Galactica, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff that does that. Yeah. Ours is still Dunkin' Donuts. I drive by too on the way to work and keep wondering when the signs will change. It was kind of funny. The one next to me, Penn, opened up. It was brand new and had Dunkin' Donuts, and within like 2 months they had to change it over to Dunkin', which I thought was funny. That kind of sucked for them because it was, extra money, but I'm sure the corporation paid for it. Stanley the Mayans. Oh, is that you were explaining? Yeah, Stanley, what we were talking about, the Mayans. I'm kind of floating in and out on that. Not what I'm talking about. So I should probably end this thing to let you guys go. I can see people are kind of petering out at the moment. So I'll let you guys go. Thank you to everybody who joined me in the chat today. Yes, they did not have Dunkin' Donuts here before, Sasha. It was an East Coast thing until about, 5 years ago? They started bringing them out here to the West Coast. And yeah. So I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. And if it's first time in the chat as well, thank you for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun as well. Sorry for the hiccup at the beginning with the internet connection being as bad as it was. But you know what? Ding the dong, people. Yeah, I'm not going to touch that one, Stanley. There's all kinds of stuff. But if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You can also hit the bell down below if you want to know when I'm on again next. And you have a 50-50 chance being notified on time. Like I said, Slurmy just got the notification that I was on live an hour and a half into the show here. So there's always that positive thing. If you really want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go and take a look at suspendedfanimation.com. My schedule is up there. It's also up on my Facebook page. It's mirrored there as well. You can join the Facebook page. That is where you're going to see all the news of the week. I posted up during the week. And I have a Twitter. I have an Instagram. The Instagram is where all the pictures and some short videos are going to be going up during Comic-Con. It's going to be mirrored on my Twitter site, or my Twitter account, and also on my Facebook page as well. I have an Patreon page. I just said Instagram. I have a Patreon page as well, but no tiers have been set up, and eventually there will be. It's been a busy couple of months here. If you're still on the fence about joining up, there's going to be a video that pops up here, chosen specifically from you for my big, vast video library that they're going to look at all the algorithms of everything you've been watching, and they're going to pop that video right up there just for you. And Swamp Thing is going to be up in this one right here, last night's Swamp Thing. It's going to be my most recent video. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. What do we got here? Pen From Girl says, I worked at a Winchell's Donuts in California several lifetimes ago. You know what? There still is a Winchell's Donuts here in San Diego, Pen Farm Girl. There is one Winchell's Donuts left. It's down in Point Loma. I've driven past it quite a few times, and it looks nasty. I remember Winchell's when they used to be good, but yes, I know what you're talking about. I'm working my way through iZombie Season 3, Episode 11. Nice, Ed. Yeah, that's actually some good stuff. Yeah, you know what? Krispy Kremes are not as good. So there's a donut place so here in San Diego, we have what's called Donut Bar. And they are, if you're going to be down at San Diego Comic-Con, I don't know, I haven't mentioned San Diego Comic-Con before. They are going to have a donut bar pop-up. They always have one every year. And they quite literally have a Homer Simpson donut that is, they put it in a cake box. That's how big it is. It can feed easily 8 people if you cut it up. But they have other donuts as well. They have been voted like one of the best donut places in the country. The best donut place in the country really is Bob's Donuts in San Francisco. Bob's Donuts is fucking awesome. So if you ever get up to San Francisco, try Bob's Donuts. They're open 24 hours a day, and usually there's a line down the block at 2:00 in the morning. I shit you not. 2:00 in the morning. When will we come up for air after Comic-Con? Stanley Tweedle asks. Well, that Monday afterwards, I am going to be doing Legion, and then we're going to go back to the regularly scheduled programming as it is. Stanley. So I will be doing that the week after Comic-Con. I will be going back to my old schedule. Ejar says local Winchell is here, and the SFV took a long dive. Krispy Kreme, local ones sucked and went out of business here. Wow. The best donuts are in Umbrella Academy. Randy's in Inglewood. You know which one I wanted to try in LA is Danny Trejo's donuts that he's got. Forget what it's called now, but Danny Trejo has a donut shop, and it's got a picture of him with his arms folded with the tattoo on his chest and everything, which looks fucking awesome. It's an awesome logo if you've ever seen the logo, and supposedly they're all over LA. He's got like 8 of them across LA. Voodoo Donuts I heard is good too, Sasha. I never even had a chance to try those. I was up in Seattle years ago, and I forgot to stop by Voodoo Donuts. Yeah, it just happened. Well, actually, they're in Portland, right? They're in Portland. I take that back. So I was in Portland before Voodoo Donuts ever came up to be. Yes. So with that said, the talk about asses and donuts. That's what it was. Yeah, today's discussion is machetes. Yes, I think it is called machetes. Yes, I think that's right, Joe. I think that's what it's called. He took over the donut shop near the Hollywood Bowl. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to touch that one, Slurmy. But see, if you like those, Slurmy, Bob's Donuts, they have cream from beginning to end. So from first bite to last bite. Maybe we should start another show where we just talk about donuts and ass. Oh, God. You know what that reminds me? Hang on a sec. Yes, I am going to go a little dead air for a second, but it's going to be worth it. Trust me. Ta-da! Donuts and ass, not too far apart for me. And you know what? Donuts sometimes do just go straight to your ass. So there you go. So this is one of the best freebies I've ever gotten at a Comic-Con, and I still use it to this day. It's a gigantic, yes, it is an ass gasket. It's a blow-up Homer Simpson donut that you sit on. And I have used this thing at every single Comic-Con since. It's one of the best things ever that I've gotten. And it has saved my ass on numerous occasions, quite literally. Yeah. Pepper's just kind of looking at me as I'm making noise over here. Ass donut. Yes, exactly. That's what it's called. It's an ass donut for your hemorrhoids. Believe it or not, because those seats hurt like a motherfucker when you're sitting down on them at Comic-Con. And even though they're padded, the padding doesn't last long when you're sitting there for a couple hours. So having that thing works so well. I mean, so well. But yeah, it's you'll see it in the video that pops up, the survival video that pops up here in a little. I think it's going to pop up tomorrow, not today, but tomorrow. So now, really, with that said, I'm going to let you guys firm ass problems. Thanks, Sasha. With that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Have fun. Be nice to each other. And don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, some motherfucker on YouTube is going to be talking to you about him going to Comic-Con. repeatedly. Have a good day, everybody. I will see you on Monday for Legion. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.